Here is everything we know about Assassin's Creed going forward. Even though we've seen 2 Assassin's Creed games released this year with Mirage and Jade, there is still a lot more of the series to come on the horizon. The apparent new era of this franchise will begin with Assassin's Creed Infinity, an interactive hub that will mirror the Helix server from Assassin's Creed Unity, retaining each entry into the franchise in one place. This seems to be acting as a way to streamline the modern day narrative of these games.
Hey, what's the matter you out there?
Not having fully fleshed out modern day plots in each respective game, but showcasing it via this hub system. It's unclear if there will be any kind of interactive space in this hub, or a canonical modern day protagonist connected to it, but it seems more like the games will imply that the player is the modern day protagonist, and that the Infinity hub itself is the Animus, kind of like Assassin's Creed Unity and Syndicate with the Helix server.
Hello, Initiate.
The first game that will enter into Infinity is the already announced Assassin's Creed Codename Red, the next fully fledged entry in the franchise that will explore the region fans have been pining for years now, feudal Japan. Apparently, the world of the game will lie in between the size of Valhalla's and the size of Odyssey's, so we'll be returning to the extremely expansive setting, and with it, it seems we'll be returning to those gameplay formulas, as the game is being developed by Ubisoft Quebec, the genius minds behind Syndicate, Odyssey, and Immortals Phoenix Rising. It seems the world will remove the majority of the markers and focal points on the map and compass, leaving the player to explore the world unguided. There's also some very interesting rumours about this game's stealth, in particular its option to go prone to crawl through low grass like in Metal Gear Solid, and to use shadows to hide from detection, both additional stealth mechanics that would build well on what has come before.
I just wait in the shadows.
This game will bring about the return of dual protagonists, allowing the player to switch between being an African-born samurai or a female shinobi warrior, separating the two's abilities in stealth and combat, similarly to Syndicate's distinction between Jacob and Evie.
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
It seems as if Red will be the next entry to release in the oh-so-sought-after holiday release window, meaning we'll see it finally come to pass in October of 2024. And we'll see whether or not it destroys the improvements made by Mirage. Following that, we have the next Montreal developed game, and what seems to be the most hyped game within the circle of most fans, codename Hexe, an apparent sidestep from what's come before in the series. The game has been described by Ubisoft as almost a separate title in the overall franchise, meaning there's a potential it does away with both the RPG formula and the classic action-adventure one that we all know and love. Hexe is due to be set in Central Europe during the 16th century, during the mass witch purge of the continent, which saw upwards of 80,000 executions of presumed witches. I think it's safe to say that that'll be an injustice that the assassins look to bring to an end, but it also potentially means conceptual witchcraft through various pieces of Eden could be used. The pieces of Eden, although technological science fiction devices, were explained in Assassin's Creed 2 to be behind a variety of supposed mythical and magic acts, such as Moses' parting of the Red Sea and the resurrection of Christ. So long as the game itself doesn't go overboard in these depictions, it could be a fascinating new insight into that element of the series. And it also of course helps that Darby McDevitt is heading up the writing team on this game, which is always a good sign, apart from parts of Valhalla, but let's gloss over them. From the sounds of it, Hexe will be another soft reboot point for the series, with Red being the last of the tired RPG saga, and the franchise's movement into a rejuvenated direction. The only question we can ask is, will it actually work? I also ought to mention that the Assassin's Creed and Netflix partnership is still going forward, with Ubisoft putting forward a limited series, as well as another mobile game to follow AC Jade, but the launch of these Netflix projects has been nowhere to be found. It'll be interesting to see what direction this goes, as despite the horrendous reception of the AC movie back in 2016, there's been a recent resurgence in video game tie-in content, especially with The Last of Us show. Hopefully, at the very least, this series will focus on assassins in historical settings, and not, you know, Jeremy Irons.
You've been dethinking in the Animus. We need you not to do that.
And finally, we have perhaps the most interesting upcoming AC project we know about. Assassin's Creed Invictus, the series' long-awaited return to the multiplayer domain. Multiplayer was first introduced in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and although it didn't reach the popularity of the likes of Halo, it was still pretty fantastic and beloved by the majority of the fanbase. Then of course, Unity introduced co-op, which although shared all the technical issues the main game had, ended up being one of the most enjoyable experiences the series has ever had to offer. Whether the game sets out a PvP experience like that of old, or a co-op experience that takes inspiration from the Helix server style, it'll no doubt be a successful endeavour, and I can't wait to hear more about it. That being said, I pray that it does not have a fucking battle royale. But it's Ubisoft, so it will. And that is every upcoming Assassin's Creed project that we know about. And if you're excited for these projects, make sure to hit like on this video, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe with post notifications turned on. These videos can't continue without the support of my wonderful patrons over on patreon.com/Scarab, so thank you so much to them, and thank you so much for watching. I've been Joe, aka Scarab, and I'll see you in the next one.